Good evening and welcome to Bwtm Sports Live. Tonight we are going to be focusing on the career of one Andre, son of God, Ward. Often I'm asked the question, who's your favourite fighter? Or asked the question, who's your top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world? I can't give you a pound for pound top 5. Well, I could, but I'd be here all day long going on about him. So today I'm going to talk about a fighter that I've got a lot of respect for, a fighter that I've followed through the years and greatly admired, and a fighter that I think doesn't get as much respect that he deserves considering his achievements. So today, I'm going to be looking at the career of Andre Ward, and I'm using Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia sometimes can be a little bit inaccurate, dates and times sometimes, but generally, Wikipedia is pretty accurate. And so I'll be looking at Wikipedia and looking at the career of Andre Ward, who this Saturday will be fighting and defending the belts that he won against Sergey Kovalev. A lot of controversy around the fight. A lot of people will say, they felt Sergey won the fight. My personal opinion, it doesn't matter who won the first fight because we've got the second fight. So the second fight is here. This Saturday night, we're going to know once and for all. We're going to settle it, hopefully, who the best fighter is between Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward. But beside that, let's go back in time and let's look at the man they call Andre, son of God, Ward. Okay, Andre Ward, born February the 23rd, 1984, is an American professional boxer. He's a two-weight world champion, and since March 2017, considered the best boxer in the world, pound for pound by Ring Magazine and transnational boxing rankings board. He's also ranked as one of the world's best light heavyweights by the Ring and BoxRec. Since 2016, Ward has held the unified WBA, undisputed IBF, and WBO light heavyweight belts. Between 2009 and 2015, he held the unified WBA Super, WBC Ring, and Linear Super middleweight titles. As an amateur, Ward won gold medal in the light heavyweight division in the 2004 Olympics and turned professional later that year. He rose to worldwide prominence upon entering the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Tournament in 2009, where he won the WBA Super middleweight title from Mikhail Kessler in the opening group stage. In 2011, Ward defeated WBC champion Carl Froch in the tournament final to unify the belts, as well as winning the vacant Ring and Linear titles. That same year, Ward was named Fighter of the Year by the Ring and Boxing Writers Association of America. He later won the Ring's Comeback of the Year award in 2016, following a long period of sporadic in-ring activity between 2012 and 2015. So that's basically an overview of Andre Ward's career. But let's dig a little deeper into the career of Andre Ward. Early life. Andre Ward was born in San Francisco, California, to son of Frank Ward, an Irish-American, and Madeleine Taylor, an African-American. Ward's career started when his father took him to a boxing gym in Oakland, California, when he was just 9 years old. Ward's godfather, Virgil Hunter, became his trainer and still trains him today. Andre attended Haywood High School in the East Bay, where he played running back and safety for the football team. So we've got a little bit about his early life, who his mother and father was. Andre Ward's godfather, actually his trainer as well, Virgil Hunter. Interesting. His amateur career. Now, this is something I don't know that much about as in depth as we're going to be going today. Ward started boxing in 1994 and has not lost a bout since he was 13 years old as an amateur was 13 years old, amateur in 1998. In 2002, he won the under-90s national championship and was also a two-time US national champion in 2001 and 2003 at middleweight. Amateur highlights. In 2001, Ward won the United States Amateur Middleweight Championship. In 2002, he won the Under-19s National Championship. In 2003, the United States Amateur Light Heavyweight Champion. Won the light heavyweight gold medal for the United States in 2004 Olympics in Athens, Greece, becoming the first American boxer to capture gold in 8 years. Okay, his results were first round, second place at the first AIBA American 2004 Olympic qualifying tournament. Second round, defeated Rosso, Italy, 17-9. Quarterfinals, defeated Evgeny Makarenko, Russia, 23-16. Semifinals, he defeated Heydrovov of Uzbekistan, 17-15. And in the final, he beat Magnamev from Belarus, 20-13. So let's go into his professional career from the start, the early years. Ward made his pro debut in December 2004 by scoring a second round TKO over Chris Molina. In February the 5th, 2005, Ward fought in his second pro fight against Kenny Cost. Ward overcame a rocky second round in which he was hurt by a left hook to win a unanimous decision. Ward defeated Roy Ashworth on April the 7th, 2005 by disqualification. Ward won his next 3 fights all by knockout before going up against Darnell Boone on November 19th, 2005. By the way, just to let you all know, Darnell Boone is a regular on the channel, and just look into Bwtm interviews with Darnell Boone. So if you know a little bit more about him, who is resuming his boxing career. Ward was knocked down for the first time in his career in round 4. Despite the knockdown, Ward went on to win by unanimous decision, a fight that Boone does talk about, only because people refer to Boone as the guy that dropped Andre Ward. But Boone says, well, you know what, that happened a long time ago. You also went and knocked down Sergey Kovalev and knocked out Adonis Stevenson. So Boone does carry some serious power. After the fight with Boone, Ward went on to win his next 6 fights, including TKO victories over undefeated Andy Coley. This fight was the last of 5 that Ward fought within the middleweight limit of 160 pounds, and Francisco Diaz. In November 2007, Ward beat undefeated Roger Cantrell by 5th round TKO in St. Lucia. Didn't know he went to St. Lucia and boxed. Go on, Andre. In 2008, March 20th, and in the Pavilion in San Jose, California, Ward defeated Ruben Williams by 7th round TKO. Ward hit Williams with jabs and straight left hands almost at will, opened a bad cut of Williams' left eye in the process. The cut was then forced the referee to stop the fight. Ward faced Gerson Ravello in June 2008 in Georgetown, Cayman Islands for the vacant regional NABO super middleweight title. Ward dominated Ravello for most of the fight en route to TKO victory in the 8th round. In May 16th, 2009 at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, Ward defeated Edison Miranda. Now, Edison Miranda was a huge puncher, broke Arthur Abraham's jaw, also stopped then unbeaten Howard Eastman, knocked him out, was the first guy to stop Howard Eastman by unanimous decision. The scores were 116, 112, 119, 109, 190, and 9 for Ward. Ward showed he had an inside game as well as an outside game. Miranda couldn't stay up with Ward's versatility around the ring. In September 2009, California, Ward defeated Shelby Pudwell by TKO in the 3rd round. So for me, this is where Ward's career this is the crowning moment for me in Ward's career. The Super 6 Boxing Classics. His first fight, Andre Ward fought Mikko Kessler in November the 21st, 2009, for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the World in the Super 6 Classic. Kessler was a strong favourite going into Showtime's Super 6 tournament in a career-defining performance, undefeated hometown favourite. Ward put the US on the board in the Super 6 and captured the WBA Super Middleweight title with a dominant 11th round technical decision over Mikhail Kessler in the group stage bout 1. The fight was stopped in round 11 due to cuts on Mikhail Kessler's face due to what was deemed unintentional headbutts by Ward. The fight went to the scorecards and Ward was far ahead by scores of 98-92, 98-92 and 97-93 at the time of the stoppage. In January 2010, Jermaine Taylor announced his exit from Showtime Super 6. The ring top 10 ranked super middleweight Alan Green was selected as his replacement and challenged Ward on June 19th. Ward, defending the WBA super middleweight title, outclassed an opponent who spent most of the time with his back against the ropes. Ward defeated Green by unanimous decision in June 19, 2010. Though the 30-year-old gamely fought on, the knockout he needed to win never appeared remotely likely and looked like a spent man by the end as he picked up the second loss of his 31-fight pro career. Screen. Ward was exempt from the final preliminary fight of the Super 6 because he had already secured a number 1 position in the elimination rounds and his designated opponent, Andre Terrell, had dropped out of the tournament. Instead, Ward successfully defended his WBA super middleweight title, unanimously outpointing another top 10 super middleweight, Sakio Bika, who then, after the tournament went on, and became world champion in front of a sparse crowd at Oracle Arena on Saturday night, fighting in front of his hometown crowd as part of a duels site co-main event. Ward didn't land many big shots, repeatedly hit Bika with stinging left jabs, and the challenger was unable to counter. Ward won all 12 rounds on one judge's scorecard and was ahead 118-110 on the other 2. Next big fight for Andre Ward in the Super 6 was that fight against Arthur Abraham. Ward's next defense came against another top 10 ranked super middleweight, Arthur Abraham, 32 fights at that time, 2 losses, 26 by KO, on May the 14th, 2011 in Carson, California. Abraham entered having lost 2 of his previous 3 bouts. Ward started out slow with Abraham, trying to find a penetrative way to penetrate his tight defense. After competitive first few rounds, Ward seized control of the fight, using his savvy boxing skills and instincts to control Abraham. Although Abraham was somewhat passive at times, he gave an earnest effort and through frequent combinations that were mostly blocked by Ward. Abraham hurt Ward a couple of times in the final round, but it wasn't enough to finish Ward, who dominated the fight and won a lopsided unanimous decision. The 3 judges scored the bout 120, 108, 118, 110, and 118, 111. ESPN had it 118, 110 in favor of Ward. The final of the Super 6. Andre Ward won the Super 6 Boxing Classic tournament in a bout against WBC super middleweight world champion Carl Froch in front of 5,626 at the Broadwalk Hall. Ward and Froch were rated number 1 and number 2 respectively by Ring Magazine, and the vacant Ring super middleweight title was on the line, as well as Froch and Ward's super middleweight titles. Over the first 7 rounds, Ward outboxed Froch, successfully using a jab to neutralize Froch and beating Froch to the punch from a distance and at close range. In the later rounds, Ward seemed to take his foot off the gas, leaving Froch to win a couple of rounds near the end of the fight. Though they were close and fairly competitive rounds, an MRI later revealed that Ward had injured his left hand, on which he relied on landing hooks to Froch's head. The hand was broken in 2 places. Ward noted extreme pain in the 6th round of the fight, as well as had 1 week prior, though the initial x-ray came back clear. The judges' scorecard were 115, 113, 115, 113, and 118, 110, all in favor of Ward. CompuBox stats. showed that Ward landed 243 of 573 punches thrown, 42%, while Froch landed 156 of 683 punches, 23% landed by Froch. Ward won the vacant Ring Magazine super middleweight title and was also regarded as becoming the linear champion with the Super 6 World Boxing Classic win against Froch. Despite some independent sources rating undefeated IBF title holder Lucien Bwtm number 1 or number 2, the fight peaked at 580,000 viewers on Showtime. The World Boxing Council of Governors voted to make Ward champion of recess due to a broken hand Ward had sustained in the Super 6 tournament. Ward's next fight was against Chad Dawson on September the 8th, 2012, against linear, the number 1 Ring Magazine champion, Chad Dawson. The fight was 168 pounds for Ward's super middleweight titles. It ended in round 10 with a technical knockout victory for Ward when Dawson asked the referee for the fight to be ended in his own words, "It's over, I'm finished, I'm done." In the first 2 rounds, Ward and Dawson felt each other out, with neither fighter having much success, though Dawson was able to land a few counter right hooks as Ward lunged in. My words. In the 3rd round, Ward dropped Dawson with a left hook and dominated the round. Again, in the 4th, Ward was able to drop Dawson in another dominating round. In the 5th round, until the end of the fight, Ward was able to neutralize Dawson's jab and work rate, seemingly outboxing and frustrating Dawson throughout. Then, in the 10th round, Ward dropped Dawson to the knee after a solid combination, which prompted referee Steve Smoker to stop the fight after Dawson could not continue. At the time of stoppage, Ward was ahead 90-79, 89-80, 89-80 on all 3 judges' scorecards. For the loss, Dawson earned 600,000, whilst Ward had the total of 1.3 million in his purse. The fight was watched by an average 1.3 million viewers on HBO. In 2013, Dawson spoke about the fight and said it was a setup by HBO and other people. He claimed it was done to make him look vulnerable and exposed him with weight loss. Well, Dawson can say what he wants. We'll talk about the fight that he was meant to have that got cancelled about the Kelly Pavlik fight that everyone talked about. Ward was scheduled to defend his super middleweight titles against former linear WBC, WBO, Ring Magazine champion, middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik on January the 26th, 2013 in Los Angeles. However, an injury sustained by Ward originally postponed the belt for 4 weeks, and the fight was expected to take place in February 23rd, 2013. The injury was more severe than originally thought and led to the cancellation of the fight, as well as subsequent retirement for Pavlik. In March 23rd, 2013, the WBC stripped Ward of the WBC super middleweight title for being inactive for a long period of time and failing to face mandatory challenger. They granted him champion emeritus status. Ward claimed a shoulder injury that required surgery was the reason for his inactivity, but the WBC claimed that Ward had not provided any medical evidence or even given them a rough availability date. On May 20th, Ward relinquished the champion emeritus status, stating that he did not believe the WBC had the right to strip him of the world title because he was willing and able to defend it within the period specified by the WBC rules. Ward was praised for standing up to WBC. Ward spent most of 2013 recovering from injuries and feuding with promoter Dan Goosen over the inclusion of a co-manager in Ward's promotional contract. The case had been to court and arbitration on 3 different occasions. Each time, Goosen was deemed in the right, Ward defending his WBA and ring titles against unbeaten Edwin Rodriguez in Ontario, California in November 2013 in a wide unanimous decision. The fight started with rough tactics until Jack Reese made an unprecedented move, penalizing both fighters 2 points each and warned them that he would end the fight if they didn't clean up. Ward went on to dominate the rest of the fight. The 3 judges scored the fight 118, 106, 117, 107, 116, 108 in favour of Ward. Ward spent all of 2014 inactive, still feuding with Goosen. Dan Goosen died of complications from liver cancer in 2014, September, leaving the future Andre Ward's boxing career even further in doubt. In February 19, 2015, the ring stripped Ward of the Ring magazine belt due to him not having defended his title against a top 5 contender in the last 2 years. On June 20th, 2015, Ward fought British Paul Smith, 35-5-20 KOs at the Oracle Arena in California. At the 172 catchweight fight, Ward won via TKO in the 9th round. Ward was winning every round at the time of the stoppage, 80-72 3 times. Smith missed weight, coming in at 176 pounds and was fined 20%, $45,000 of his $225,000 purse by the Californian State Athletic Commission, half of which went to Ward and half of which went to Commission. On November 12, 2015, in advance of his upcoming move to the light heavyweight division, Ward vacated his WBA super middleweight title. Ward originally claimed the belt in 2009 with a victory over long-time champion Mika Kesler's open fight of the Super 6 tournament. Ward made his light heavyweight debut on March 26, 2016 against Cuban boxer Sullivan Barrera, who was undefeated at the time in his hometown of Oracle Arena, en route to a wide unanimous decision. Ward dropped Barrera to the canvas in the 3rd round as he turned a left hook while on the ropes. Barrera was also dropped in the 8th round from a body shot, but referee Raul Cais Sr. saw it as a low blow as it resulted in a point deducted from Ward. Ward dictated the plays for the vast majority of the bout, showcasing good strength and generalship against Barrera. 3 judges scored the fight 117-109, 119-109, 117-108. Ward landed 166 of 463 punches thrown, 36%, whilst Barrera landed 111 of 722 punches, 15% Barrera landed. For the fight, Ward earned $1.85 million and Barrera earned $450,000. The fight averaged 1.6 million viewers and peaked at 1.5 million viewers. Ward on July the 30th, 2016, Ward fought 100-1 underdog Alexander Brown, 25-1 with 19 KOs from Colombia. The fight took place in front of 8,500 hometown fans at the Oracle Arena in Oakland. Ward unanimously appointed Brown to claim the vacant WBO Intercontinental Light Heavyweight title. All 3 judges had the fight 120-108 for Ward. Ward spoke to the HBO in a post-fight interview about fighting Kovalev, saying, "I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you in November." This was Ward's 3rd fight in 8 months after only fighting 3 times from 2012 to 2015. Ward landed 190 of 490 punches, thrown 39%, and Brand landed only 16%, 45 from 285 punches. Ward earned a purse of $850,000 compared to the small amount of $30,000 earned by Brand. The fight averaged 742,000 HBO. The dip could have been due to the 21 million tuning into the Olympics on NBC. And here we have the fight that basically started all off: Ward versus Kovalev. Ward fought for the unified IBF, WBA, and WBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey Kovalev, at T-Mobile Arena on November 19, 2016. The fight was announced in June, and both fighters retained their undefeated records through interim bouts. The event marked Ward's first time fighting in Las Vegas, Nevada. After being knocked down in round 2, he won a closely contested unanimous decision, with all 3 judges scoring the fight 114-113 in favor of Ward. Ward reiterated how the events of the evening unfolded. "I got off the canvas against the hardest puncher in the division and smiled. I took the fight to him and closed the show." Ward received Kovalev's WBA undisputed IBF, WBA, and WBO light heavyweight titles and became a 2-division world champion. Some fans have claimed the judging was unfair. It was a classic hometown decision. Kovalev won the fight, Larry Merchant stated after the fight. Kovalev's promoter, Kathy Duva, said, "We got a great fight, which is what boxing needed, but we got a bad decision, which is not what boxing needed." On the same token, many boxing experts have explored the decision and believe Ward would have the advantage in a rematch due to his ability to make adjustments. Paulie Malignaggi noted the high degree of difficulty both fighters faced that night and doubted the prospect of a one-sided affair in the rematch. Still, he concluded that Kovalev faded in the fight. Promoter EH also added that Kovalev lacked a sense of urgency at the halfway point. Gennady Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez noticed how Kovalev allowed Ward on the inside and as a result wore down. Sanchez also credits Ward's trainer Virgil Hunter as being key in orchestrating a proper plan. The fight reported to have done 160,000 buys at HBO's pay-per-view. The replay shown at HBO prior to Lomachenko-Walters fight averaged 834,000 viewers. The event produced a live gate of 3.3 million from 10,066 tickets sold, including complimentary tickets. The full attendance was announced as 13,310. The venue was set to hold up to 14,227. And this Saturday night, Ward v Kovalev 2. Kovalev's manager, Aegis Klimas. Now, where have you heard that name before? Usyk, manager, new manager. I'll leave it there. Announced that negotiations have begun for the rematch between Ward and Kovalev. According to the NASC, the T-Mobile Arena was put on hold for June 17, 2017 on HBO. On March 24, 2017, Kovalev revealed via social media that he had signed his end of the deal. It was noted that rematch would take place at the Mandela Bay in Paradise, Nevada, on HBO's pay-per-view. On April 4th, Rock Nation Sports, the main events, confirmed that the terms were agreed for a rematch to take place at HBO pay-per-view. The fight has been billed as no excuses. Ward addressed the public stating, "I'm going to keep it short and sweet. You got what you asked for. Now you have to see me on June the 17th. This time, leave the excuses at home." The Las Vegas Sun confirmed the bout would take place on Mandela Bay Events Center. On April 10th, Kathy Duva said there would be no rematch clause in place for a third fight, meaning whoever would win would not be obliged to take another rematch. So that's an overview of the Andre Ward's career that I wanted to kind of talk about today. Sorry if I've not been talking to anybody in the room, but I'm just been doing a talk about Andre Ward. Now let's look at the examination of Andre Ward's style. We'll look at the style of Andre Ward. Ward, known as one of the most complete boxers in sport today. Ward harnesses his speed and ring intelligence to masterfully control distance and pace in fights while maintaining high punch accuracy and counter punching skills. A natural left-hand fighter who boxes in an orthodox stance. Ward's best punches typically come from his lead left, including a sharp piston-like jab. An injury and eventual surgery to the right shoulder has made Ward even more reliant on the left hand, causing him to switch to southpaw on occasion to land power shots. Ward is also noted to have an extreme effective inside game. Ward's physical strength is enabled to overpower and rough up many opponents on the inside and in the clinch, connecting his own shots, particularly the short left hook and uppercut, while smothering his opponent's shots and weaving their punches is commonplace in Ward's fights. He attributes his self-described formula style to years of studying Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Ward even makes effective use of the jab to the body while out of punching range, a common technique used by Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his fights. Personal life. Ward married his high school sweetheart, Tiffany, in 2009, where they have 3 sons and a daughter. Ward lives in Danville, California, a devout Christian. He regularly visits places in his area such as schools, prisons, and youth facilities to help his community and engage and inspire people with his story. Filmography. In 2015, Ward made his acting debut in the American sports drama, film, and Rocky franchise spin-off Creed as the light heavyweight boxer Danny Stuntman Wheeler. I think that's it in terms of a special look at Andre Ward. That is it. Hope you've enjoyed that. Good evening to everybody in the room. So I've just done a special on the Andre Ward story. Now, while we're at it, I will do my breakdown of how I see this fight going between Ward Kovalev 2. Now, I said in the first fight, I believe Andre Ward would beat Kovalev. And there's a lot of things to talk about here. Regardless if you think Ward won the first fight or you think Kovalev won the first fight, we've got the second fight. People need to get over it. Saturday night, we've got the fight. So I don't really want to go back into the old fight, only if we're talking about things that were missed and things that we need to be aware of. There are some things we need to be aware of. People talk about the right hand that Ward got hit with, and then he got hit clean on the chin and he got dropped. Ward got up, he smiled, and he went back at Kovalev. He went 12 rounds. If Kovalev is to lose on Saturday night, he is going to regret not finishing Ward off when he dropped him in round 2. Now, Kovalev tiring down the stretch. Kovalev has always tired down the stretch in his big fights, apart from the Bernard Hopkins fight, but he didn't exert much energy in the Bernard Hopkins fight. So my concern for Kovalev is I don't like the post-fight. When a guy wins a fight or loses a fight, it's like, okay, especially if a guy loses a fight and he's going to go back into an immediate rematch. First of all, you say to yourself, okay, I want to hear from Kovalev, okay, I lost the first fight. Regardless, I lost it. I know I won that fight. As far as I'm concerned, that fight's gone. Let's forget about it. Let's move on. There's too many excuses coming out of Kovalev's camp. Oh, I overtrained for the fight. Oh, the judges. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, American trainers are crap. Take responsibility for your actions. You're the guy that's in the ring. You had John David Jackson all for his career beforehand when he was knocking everybody out. It was fine. And let me get you something straight here. I am a big Sergey Kovalev fan. Back in the day when people weren't paying him any mind and he fought against Nathan Clevier, said this guy is a big puncher. Nathan Clevier is going to get wiped out in a couple of rounds by this guy Kovalev. And we saw that. So this is not a case of me not liking Kovalev. I don't appreciate Kovalev's comments for obvious reasons. We're not going to go down that road. I don't appreciate his comments. And I don't think anybody that looks like myself would appreciate his comments. But I'm not going into that. There's loads of other people on other channels will do that. I'm not worried about that. The rematch is what it is. So when we talk about the rematch, we talk about the fight. For me, Kovalev has to do something he's never done in his career. He's going to have to he's going to have to adapt. He's going to have to deal with a fighter that is not intimidated by him. He's going to have to deal with a fighter that has beat him. He can say what he wants about, well, I didn't think I was beaten. When he looks down the barrel and he sees he's not got his belts on the table, he's not the champion, he's the challenger. When he goes to press conferences, he's the challenger, not the champion. And see, there's a big difference between being treated as a challenger and being treated as a champion is a different thing. And if he is inside of his head, if he is a racist inside of his head, that's another lot of energy he's going to have to burn up as well for his hate for a color. If he's got those sort of issues in his head as well, he's having to deal with that. If he is indeed that way inclined, then he's going to have to deal with the energy of that as well. Being beaten by a black guy, that's an issue, or somebody of mixed race. That doesn't mean inside of his head. It's boxing mental. It's boxing mental. And there's no one in the game. No one in the game, bar Floyd Mayweather. I mean, actively in the sport of boxing today, actively, I'm talking, that has the intellect of an Andre Ward. Andre Ward is able to make adjustments Andre Ward's able to make adjustments on the fly. And I'm not sure if Kovalev is able to make those adjustments. You know, Andre Ward is going to have to make those adjustments. Not Andre. Kovalev's going to have to make those adjustments when he fights Andre Ward. Now, we've seen rematches over and over and over again where fighters, they fight 6 months later or 5 months later. How much more adjustments can Kovalev make to his style? If it's a guy who's just been going and knocking guys out, he's been doing the same thing all the time. Now he's met resistance. Is John David Jackson and the team around Kovalev good enough to set up a game plan to beat Andre Ward? Kovalev is a bigger puncher. But I said this in the first fight. Take away Kovalev's punch power. He is just a basic boxer against a master boxer. That's why I see he's a basic boxer against a master boxer. His punch power is a big thing, you know, and Kovalev's punch power, like Gennady Golovkin, and I keep saying it, guys like this are front foot fighters. When you go on the front foot and they're on when they're going forward, that's where they've got momentum, that's where they can put their power in their punches. When you start sitting on these guys' chests and putting their back against the ropes, it's a different matter altogether. It's a very different matter altogether. If Ward can close the range down on Kovalev, if Ward can get Kovalev fighting with his back against the ropes, he takes away Kovalev's punching power. He takes away Kovalev's leverage. Kovalev needs leverage to get those big, long arms out to fight them big shots. If Andre Ward can stay on his chest, then that's what needs to happen. That's how I see the fight going. Look, it's just my perspective of the fight and my personal opinion. Everyone's got their opinions. Some people are willing to air those opinions. People are willing to type those opinions. Some people are not willing to say anything at all. But for my personal opinion, I see Ward's going to win this fight, and I see another unanimous point decision. I do. I'm not sure if Kovalev will be able to execute a game plan and stick to a game plan over 12. I can't see Kovalev outboxing Ward. Kovalev, for me, his only chance is to knock Andre Ward out. I don't see Kovalev outboxing Andre Ward. I don't think he's adaptable enough for that. And I don't think Kovalev has gears. I don't think Kovalev has the gears to go through. And I think Andre Ward's going to be better than he was the last fight. You know, activity, fighting more actively, more regularly. So he's sharpening tools. So I expect Ward's going to be even sharper this fight than he was the fight before. Personally, I think the fight is won outside of the ring with Ward Kovalev. I think Ward has got inside of Kovalev's head, and I think he's a beaten man already. And I think he's a beaten man already outside the ring. We're gonna have to wait and see on the night to see whether that is true or whether that's mind games from Kovalev. But I think he's a beaten man. In my opinion, I'll go as far as to say I think Kovalev is a bit of a bully. I think he's a bit of a bully. I think he doesn't mind dishing it all out. But I think when he starts coming back his way and he doesn't start getting things his own way, starts throwing the bottle out the pram, I don't think he's mature enough. And I don't mean mature enough. I mean mature enough or experienced enough to handle when things are not going his way. There's some people's characters, nothing to do with boxing, some people's characters that when things are not going under their way, they start to panic. And I don't mean panic, I mean they don't know what to do. They just don't know how to respond. So Kovalev's in a situation where he's in a different situation now. He's lost. He's against a guy who's not intimidated by him. He's against a guy who's going to hit him back. He's been against a guy who he saw drop, hit him with his best shot, got up, and went 12 rounds of him and took his titles away from him. And will know in his mind as well that, hey, if this fight goes to the scorecards again, I may get robbed again. So there may be in the back of his mind, Kovalev, or the front of his mind says, I hit him and I knocked him down in that first round, or that second round, I knocked him down. I dropped him. So if I've dropped him, then I can do it again. So if their game plan is, and if he's got these sort of inexperienced people around him in the camp, and if anything's to go by the way the Bashir and Usyk breakdown happened with Klimas being involved with that, and Klimas now being the manager of Kovalev, Then I suspect now they've got a Russian trainer involved now as well, doing the fitness, and Jackson's doing something else. And there were rumors of Jackson not being in the camp. And then Kovalev talking about all American trainers are garbage. And then there's rumors also that Jackson said that Kovalev doesn't listen to him. If Kovalev's his own man, then I'm sorry, he's gonna go for a one-sided beatdown, point side, because you have to be able to you've got to be able to follow the game plan. So, I'm seeing some people in the chat here. I'm going to listen to what people are saying in the room. So, me personally, I think Ward has got inside of Kovalev's head. I think Ward has got under his skin. And I think Ward has got to a place in Kovalev internally that is bothering him. I think personally, I really do. So he's got a lot to overcome on the night, Sergey Kovalev. He's got a lot to overcome. There are more answers needed from Kovalev than there are Ward, to me, in my opinion. So we're going to see. He's got an uphill struggle, Kovalev, on the night. And if he beats Ward on the night, well, credit to him for that. Really credit to him. More of these fights seem to be happening. We've got Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward, two of the best fighters in the world, fighting again within 6 months, which is fantastic. But how long will we have to wait for Gennady Golovkin and Canelo? Super 6 was one of the best things that ever happened in boxing. I think we should have more of it. This is why the UFC tops boxing, because you've got the best fighters fighting the best fighters all the time. Win, lose, draw, they're fighting all the time. On a closing note, there is a story going around that Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor has been signed for August the 26th. I don't know if this is a true story or not. Could be all rumors, but we'll see. I wish both fighters the very best. And, I love both guys. But I'm going with Andre Ward. I think he's the better boxer. I think he's a master boxer versus a guy that can punch. That's what it is. I don't see Kovalev outboxing Ward, so he's got to win by a knockout. That's the way I've seen it. So that's about it from me. Thank you all for watching. I hope you appreciate the bio on Andre Ward. Guess my favorite fighter. Like him. People ask me why do I like Andre Ward. I like his boxing style. If my son, I would teach him to box, I'd teach him to box like Ward. Hit and not get hit. Be adaptable, be able to box on the inside, be able to box on the outside, being able to be adaptable, be able to make changes, not don't be one-dimensional, being mentally very strong. That, Ward might not be the biggest puncher in the world. He might not have the fastest hands in the world. But he's got such a immense mind and strength, mental strength, that overcomes guys that may be faster than him, or who may punch harder than him, or may be taller than him, or may have longer reach than him. Ward is a consummate pro, always in shape. You see guys always in shape. Class acts. You're not going to see him talking rubbish over social media or acting a clown out on streets. Settled guy. So Ward is a consummate pro. And when people say about, well, who do you like as a fighter? Andre Ward. If I was a boxer in today's society, then it would be Ward. That's the sort of guy I would follow. That's Ward's for me. Yeah, you can say what you want about Ward and thinking some people think he's a bit of a fake and whatever. I love Ward. Very principled guy. I like him. I'm not sure about him signing Rock Nation. I'm not sure about that. But he's done what he thinks is best for his career. And I think he's one of those fighters that should be getting a major push. There are other fighters that are less, who've achieved a lot less, that are getting more credit than Andre Ward. Guys who've probably won one world title in one weight division with a WBO belt that are getting huge recognition and called pound for pound #1 and masters, and haven't even fought the greatest fighters in their division. Whereas Andre Ward has fought the best fighters in his division when in their prime, and they've still gone on after Ward's beaten them and going and fight world championship, fight world titles. Think this out. Ward beat Arthur Abraham, who's fighting Chris Eubank Jr. for a shot at a world title. He beat Carl Froch, who went on and became WBC champion after that and was recognized as the #1 fighter, super middleweight in the world, after beating Lucian Bwtm for the title, who was the #1 guy. Okay, you had Arthur Abraham, Carl Froch. Who else? Sakio BKB went on and became world champion after that. So these guys weren't bums. These guys were genuine guys. Mika Kessler, after the Super 6, came back and won a world title again after that. So let's get something quite categorically straight here. Andre Ward gets a lot of flack, and by media journalists who should know a lot better. Historically, you can't take away the man's achievements. And that is something that I can't do. You can't take him out. This is what the man has done. You can hate a man all day long, but they're guys that are far less accomplished, fought far less fighters to get more credit. That is what I would call bias, whether it be because of nationality, whether it be because of race, whether it be because of buddiness and political issues. I don't know, but I do know one thing. There is clearly a biasness within boxing media. Guys that have undefeated records that have not fought the best. How can you call somebody a pound for pound #1 who hasn't even fought the best fighters in the division? I'm not talking beating up guys who've been beaten up before and knocked out before. I'm talking about beating the top guys in the division, #1 and 2. Ward did it at super middleweight. He beat the #1 guy at super middleweight, and then he moved up to light heavyweight and fought the #1 guy at light heavyweight. And these guys were unified champions. So, I struggle when I listen to people, commentators say he's the best fighter in the world. Really? Well, how'd you work that one out? Oh, he's a master of boxing. Really? Well, how can you be a master of boxing when you're just fighting the also rounds of the division? How can you be the best fighter in the world when you're not even fighting the best fighters in the world? He's world class. He's such a great fighter. Well, all right. He's a great fighter. Then if he's a great fighter and what he's done, what about this guy here, all his accomplishments? And all these people that detract to Andre Ward or Floyd Mayweather. Well, let's see what your fighter does. Let's see what your fighter can do. For example, a lot of these guys say, oh, Floyd's rubbish. Oh, Floyd's rubbish. He beat Canelo, but I like Canelo. Oh, Andre Ward's rubbish. Okay, so who's your fighter then? Well, okay, well then it's Gennady Golovkin. Okay, fine. Golovkin's a good fighter, but he hasn't accomplished what Ward's accomplished. He hasn't done what Ward's done over and over and over again against the best fighters. He's not even a 2-weight world champion. He's not even a 2-weight world champion. So, I mean, we try and put these things in perspective. So these are the certain names that get pulled up. Lomachenko, very talented fighter, very respectful Lomachenko. But again, hasn't fought the very best in his division. Hasn't fought the very best, the #1 and #2 sort of situation. So, I mean, he's fought some good fighters, but not when you talk about the caliber of Andre Ward. When you look at the record and the guys that Ward has fought, the sort of guys Floyd Mayweather's fought, the sort of guys Ward has fought, the sort of guys that Pacquiao has fought, even if you get a Canelo, even Canelo's record, the sort of guys Canelo's fought down the record, look at the records, the resumes, the guys have fought. I don't understand it. I don't understand the mentality how people can just jump the queue because it happens. People jump in the queue that are not, hero parents. They haven't really done as much as they should do. But that's just my views on it. People argue and disagree with what I'm saying. You can't disagree with facts. And you look at the accomplishments of what Andre Ward done, the accomplishments of what Floyd Mayweather's done, then bring your fighter whoever your fighter is going to be, and you're going to hate on those guys. You hate this style, but if you're really a boxing purist, boxing is about hit and not get hit. So these guys are masters and professors at the job of hit and not getting hit, you know. And we talk about coaching today and fighters. Not a lot of fighters today can fight on the inside. A lot of guys fighting the outside can throw big bombs, you know, or guys can fight on the inside but can't fight on the outside. This is a guy that can fight on the outside, can fight on the inside, and has done it against the very best and won. You know, not against guys who are unproven or guys who haven't won world titles. So, you know, I'll always have a lot of respect for Andre Ward. So there we go. Right. Thank you all for watching Bwtm Sports and the Andre Ward story. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. And of course, before I finish, please check out Bwtm Gaming. We just hit 126 subscribers. We've been open, the channel's been open about a couple of months now. We've got 126 subscribers, almost 5,000 views. It'd be great to have some of you guys and girls who watch Bwtm Sports come into our chat room and have a chat there. Shout out to my man DJ Slick, who is a godfather in the Bwtm gaming room. So we have mega. We had 16 hours gaming one weekend. It was completely crazy stuff, but we get up to all sorts of conversations going on in there. But check out Bwtm Sports. The link for this subscription is down in this description box. Just click on that, hit the subscribe button, and join us in the Bwtm gaming. And we do all sorts of games. At the moment, we're doing Arsenal and Football Manager, but I do other games as well. Third season with Arsenal, trying to win that elusive Champions League, and we've brought some big players in, so it should be fun. Should be fun stuff. Right, this is me signing out of Bwtm Sports. We'll be back soon. See you soon. Take care.